أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته, brothers and sisters. I hope you're doing well, inshallah. This is Saina Zulfikar, student counselor at the International Open University, and I would like to warmly welcome you all tonight to this session, preparing for midterm exams, inshallah. So, in this session, we will be quickly looking at a few tips and strategies on how you can prepare better for the upcoming midterm exams. As students from all streams except IAP may be aware that we have exams coming up in a few days, inshallah. So it's important that we start preparing for them well, so that inshallah we can ace them. So without further ado, Bismillah, let's move on. Now, when it comes to preparing for exams, whether it's the midterm exams, the final exams, or the assignments, or anything at IOU in specific, it's always important to begin with a sincere intention. The reason why I keep saying this to all the students repeatedly is that your act of seeking knowledge at IOU is an act of worship. So always renew it, always purify your intention, always go back to your intention, revisit your intention, and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Who am I doing this for? As the Prophet ﷺ was reported to have said, verily deeds are only with intentions, and every person will have only what they intended. Whoever emigrated to Allah and His Messenger, his emigration is for Allah and His Messenger. Whoever immigrated to get something in the world or to marry a woman, his immigration is for that to which he immigrated. So if your intention to join IOU was, for example, to become a better Muslim, inshallah, that is what you will get out from this. If your intention was to build your professional career, inshallah, that is something you will get out of this as well. So renew your intention, revisit your intention, keep a check on your intention, because everything, brothers and sisters, changes as soon as you purify and rectify your intention, bi'idhnillah. So before the midterms begin, it would be a good time to maybe contemplate the reasons for joining IOU, so that inshallah that helps you stay motivated and focused and bi'idhnillah on track. Next is to familiarize yourself with how the midterms and the exam system works at IOU. Now, this includes marking all important dates on your calendar. So make sure you've marked all the exam dates, the midterm exams dates, because a lot of times, unfortunately, students miss out on those dates, and unfortunately, they miss the exam schedule. So make sure you are thoroughly aware of the midterm exam dates as well as the late period dates, just in case if you are planning to attempt your exams in the late period. So mark those dates on your calendar. Know the exam structure and format. Again, very, very important, brothers and sisters, because different streams now have different exam format. So make sure you are aware if your exam would be an MCQ, or would it have MCQ plus open-ended questions, so that inshallah you can prepare. Right now, at the moment, I believe apart from BALS, every other stream has only MCQ. BALS has MCQ plus open-ended questions. So it's a good time to inshallah now get a hang of what kind of questions to anticipate in the midterm exams. And always remember that a lot of questions are actually a repetition from your module quizzes. So make sure while you're attempting your module quizzes, you get an idea of what kind of questions to inshallah anticipate in the midterm as well as in the final exams. So be thorough with those module quiz questions as well. And you may be aware that the duration to attempt is 90 minutes. So you will have 90 minutes, and make sure that you're also attending the midterm live sessions that are now taking place, so that if you have any questions about the exam structure, the exam timings, what kind of questions to anticipate, you can ask your tutorial assistant, inshallah. Next is don't waste a day when it comes to preparing for the midterm exams, because we have less than a month left, right? So make sure you utilize each day wisely, and that you make the most out of the time that you have right now, because the Prophet ﷺ was reported to have said, take advantage of 5 before 5, your youth before your old age, your health before your illness, your riches before your poverty, your free time before your work, and your life before your death. So this is a good time, inshallah, to utilize the time that you have remaining for the midterm exams. It's never too late to start. Don't give up, even though it may seem like impossible to navigate, but don't give up. Bi'idhnillah, you have time. You can do this. Utilize each moment wisely, and make sure you are also calculating the number of modules that you have to do in a day. So what do I mean by this? For example, a lot of students may have at the moment 20 modules, 30 modules, or maybe less than 20 modules to complete before the midterms begin, right? So a lot of students then ask me, how do I complete so many modules before the midterm exams? Well, the answer is that calculate all the modules that you've got to do. Let's say you have 20 modules to do, and divide them with the number of days that you have remaining for the midterm exams. Let's say you have 20 modules and you have 10 days left for the midterm exams. If you divide that, you get 2. So you got to be doing 2 modules every day to complete your modules well before time. Now, of course, this is an ideal case scenario, but if you have more modules and less days, it's natural that you would need to complete more than 3 or sometimes even more than 4 modules to stay on track. So calculate the number of modules that you have with the number of days remaining, inshallah, to get the correct number of modules that you got to be focusing on. Next is prioritize. Now, prioritizing is really, really important when it comes to studying effectively and proactively. What do I mean by prioritizing? Now, at the moment, since the midterms are fast approaching, focus on midterm exams over the assignments. Now, you still have time for submitting your assignments, correct? So make sure that you give ample of time to your midterm exams over your assignments, right? Because you can go back to your assignments and work on them after you're done with your midterm exams. And inshallah, once you're done with your midterm exams, you can actually give them more time, right? So make sure you focus on your midterm exams first and go back to your assignments later. And when it comes to also prioritizing, it's also important that you complete all modules of all the courses and not skip them. So how could you do that? Number one is by completing easier courses first. So let's say you have taken up 5 courses. You find out of those 5, you find those 3 courses really, really easy. For example, let's say it's Aqidah, you enjoy it, you find it easy. So you begin with the easier courses first and then move on to the tough courses at the end. So let's say you have 1 or 2 tough courses. A lot of students, for example, usually find fiqh of transactions hard. Some students find Arabic hard, right? So keep such courses for the end so that once you're done with the easier courses, you can go back and revisit the hard courses and inshallah complete them as well. So what this does is it boosts your motivation to continue and complete your modules instead of beginning with the tougher courses and eliminating your motivation on the other hand. So you can also maybe try saving more time by listening to the lectures at a speed of 1.5x to 1.75x, because again, a lot of students complain that it's hard to finish modules on time because my modules are very, very long. It takes me 2 hours. It takes me 2 hours, 20 minutes, right? So make sure you dedicate 1 hour, not more than 1 hour, 15 minutes to complete your module. You can take notes simultaneously. I recommend that you take handwritten notes simultaneously and also refer to notes from senior students so that inshallah, in case you've missed out anything, you can take a note of that as well. And finally, brothers and sisters, when it comes to inshallah performing well in the midterms, the key is to revise consistently. This is what all successful students do. They revise consistently, they revise daily. So make sure you dedicate at least 15 minutes of your time every day to revise whatever you've learned. Now, what do I mean by revision? It's a quick scan and a quick skimming through of your course notes. Not that you sit down every day and memorize what you've learned, but you quickly read through whatever you've taken notes of. So, for example, it would mean that every day, 15 minutes, maybe you just open up your Aqidah notes and just quickly read through them so as to familiarize and revise whatever that you've studied. Now, likewise, you can craft a revision routine that might work for you. So, for example, on Saturdays, you can revise Aqidah. On Sundays, you can revise Arabic. On Mondays, maybe you can revise Tafsir. So, what I recommend to all the students out there is that for a quick revision, utilize the weekdays, but for an in-depth provision or for revising tougher courses, like, for example, fiqh or Arabic, dedicate weekends so that you have more time to, inshallah, revise and study. And lastly, if you don't have a lot of time and you have a lot of modules to complete, I don't recommend that you read the course text, because a lot of students again spend a lot of time on reading the course text and then eventually miss out completing the modules. No, unfortunately, that's not right. Your priority should be to watch the module lecture, take your notes, and refer to the course slides. But if you have extra time, let's say if you have, alhamdulillah, completed all your modules, then you can, skim through and read through the course text. But again, on a condition that if you have time. So I think this should be all, brothers and sisters. Just to quickly summarize, inshallah, on how you can prepare for your midterm exams. Number one is always begin with a sincere intention, because this is an act of worship. Honor it. Number two, be familiar with the assignment, with the exam structure, whether it's an MCQ or it includes both MCQ or open-ended questions. Next is utilize the remaining days that you have wisely. Next, prioritize your midterms over assignments. And I also shared some hacks that you can try to, inshallah, complete your modules on time. And finally, revise consistently and daily, bi'idhnillah. So with that, if you have any questions, brothers and sisters, you can drop them in the chat box, and I will be happy to answer them for you, inshallah. Okay, so we have a couple of questions here. What are the open-ended questions like? I would recommend that you drop an email to your respective course teacher because again, the structure of the open-ended questions vary depending on course to course. So contact your course teacher and inshallah ask about that. Okay, next, how do we answer the open-ended questions? Is there an indication of marks to say how many points we must make in your answer? So, no, you don't really have an indication of how many marks or points you would need for your answer. You just answer those questions, like you type those answers, and your answers will be manually graded by your course teacher. So your course teacher is going to individually look at your answers and grade them accordingly. For BAIS, is it only MCQ? Yes. Um, I dropped two courses in the first semester. Does that affect anything? I'm not sure which semester are you currently in. Are you in your second or your third semester? Let me know, inshallah, so that I can guide you further. Will there be guidelines for midterm exam? I'm not sure what kind of guidelines are you really looking for. If you have any specific questions, you can ask them away, or you can drop an email to your respective course teacher, and inshallah, they will be happy to help you. When will the timetable be released for the midterm exams? The timetable has already been released for the midterm exams long before. Um, I'm not sure if you've had a chance to go through your student dashboard and check all the important dates. So just log into your student portal. You will find a section called, I think it's called event schedule. Go ahead, click on that, and inshallah, you should get a document that contains all important dates, including the dates for the midterm exams. Open-ended questions should be answered in short form or easy type answers. I'm not sure what do you mean by easy type answers, but your answer must be should sufficiently provide enough details about what has been asked. How do I schedule my exams? Okay, so when it comes to exams at IOU, they're very different from a traditional university because we offer that flexibility to students in terms of which course they would like to first attempt. So you can maybe sit down now and plan, inshallah, which course would you be going ahead with first. So I would recommend that you attempt the exams for easier courses first, and then keep the tougher courses for the end so that you have enough time to prepare, inshallah. Okay, I don't understand anything with maths. What should I do? I think you can drop an email to your course teacher and maybe book a one-on-one call, and inshallah, they would be happy to assist you. Is the exam opening during an opening window or specific time? There's a specific time, inshallah. How many marks is the midterm exam? So you will have the midterm exams for 100 marks. Again, but this may vary depending. No, actually not. So for all courses and for all streams, the midterm exams would be for 100 marks, inshallah. How many questions are open-ended and how many are MCQ type, not in percentage? I don't know, sister. Maybe you can drop an email to your course teacher, inshallah, and ask because I don't know which course are you enrolled in, which stream are you enrolled in. So like I mentioned, it's going to depend on the number, on the courses that you've taken. So maybe drop an email to your course teacher and they can help you, inshallah. How do you create a study timetable and stay consistent? Jazakallah khair for asking. So when it comes to staying consistent, this can be really tricky because a lot of students do have a timetable, but it's hard to stick to. So number one is to make sure that you're creating a routine that is realistic, right? So for example, it must be achievable. Like, let's say you plan to do 6 modules every day, right? But that does not sound very realistic, and you might end up procrastinating in the end. So make sure you have a realistic goal. Maybe plan your routine in a way that is realistic and achievable. Like, for example, plan the timing around a time that works out for you. So let's say study at a time when you feel most productive at, and set your number of modules to be somewhere around 3 to 4, not more than that. And secondly, is to also have an accountability partner or a friend who can keep a check on you. So again, studying at IOU can be very, very lonely because it's online. You don't see people studying, you know, so it can be really hard to keep that momentum on. So what I would recommend is for you to maybe engage in the Telegram groups that they've already created. Look out for, inshallah, study buddies who you can study along with. Bi'idhnillah. How long will a course take for examination? So like I mentioned already, it's 19 minutes. How to get help to understand specific units. So what I would recommend is, let's say you have a few doubts from module number 5. What I would recommend is after you've completed listening to the module lecture, write down the questions that you have, and then take those questions to your course teacher so that inshallah they can answer them for you. Is there any specific timetable for the midterm exams as to which course should students have on a particular date? No. So that's completely flexible, and inshallah, it's your call. Can I pass if I just listen to the audios rather than reading the textbook? Yes, you can. So like I mentioned, reading the textbook is not mandatory. It's an optional choice. You can read through the textbook only if you have time, but you can, inshallah, pass well with just listening to the videos and taking your own notes. I paid the semester fee on the late period, so I missed almost a month of time. Is it possible to make it as a reason to enroll late in midterm periods? So students do have a choice to attempt midterm exams in the late period, but it comes with a 15% deduction. Now, unless you have a genuine reason, like for example, a medical emergency, then in such cases, you can be exempted from that 15% deduction. But because you've mentioned that you enrolled late, I don't think that would be classified as a reason to waive the deduction. But you can try attempting them late in case you're unable to manage. You're unable to manage your modules and complete them before time. So you can attempt them late, but again, it comes with a 15% deduction. Can we have a view of how, or the screen of how the exam questions and categories look like? Unfortunately, no, I do not have any sample questions. Like I mentioned, if you want to take a look at the kind of questions to anticipate in the midterm exams, I would recommend that you go back to your module quizzes, because a lot of questions from the module quizzes are actually a repetition. So you will see a lot of those questions coming in your midterm exam. Is the textbook compulsory to read? No, it's not. Is the midterm exam in a center, or can we do it at home? It depends on the course that you're enrolled in. Um, when will the exam dates be given? Again, brothers and sisters, I think I've already answered this. The dates have been long announced. Please go back to your student dashboard and check out all important dates. They've already been there since the semester has started. I'm a BA Arabic student. Should I install Arabic keyboard before the exams? Yes, I would ideally recommend that you do that. especially if you're enrolled in the BALS program, because you will have a few open-ended questions. Are we supposed to complete all module tests and assignments before midterm exams? Yes, you're supposed to complete all module tests before the midterm exams, but not the assignments. The assignments have a different due date. So please go back to your student dashboard and check out the dates, inshallah. We are familiar with how to complete our modules, but how do we answer the exams? Is it objectives only, or does it have theories only? Again, please go back to your course. If you're enrolled in a revised program, like I've mentioned, uh, all streams apart from BALS will have MCQs. Um, for BALS students, I believe they have MCQ plus open-ended questions. But in case you still have doubts, go back to your course teacher and ask all your doubts now, inshallah. Can we delay the quiz till late midterms, or do we have to finish it before 9th May? You will have to finish them before the midterm exams begin, sister. Because if you're going to wait until the late midterm period, then basically you will lose out on your marks. So you will need to complete all your quizzes before the exams begin. But if you're planning to attempt your exams at the late period, then you can complete your modules before the late midterm period begins. I'm a bit confused. I heard from different sources whether the BIS course is MCQ only, including from you. I think you said two different things. No, I didn't say two different things. I said that BAIS is going to have only MCQ questions. And I said that BALS is going to have MCQ plus open-ended. But if you still have any questions, inshallah, go back to your TA, drop them an email and ask away. On dashboard events, only dates are there, but I'm asking about specific date sheet. No, sister, there's no specific date sheet for exams. Like I mentioned, the dates are already there. You can attempt your exams from at the time that has been mentioned, right? You don't have the schedule for certain courses, so we don't tell our students to attempt, let's say, Aqidah on 9th May or Tafsir on 10th May. That's completely flexible and open to you. Does the exam contribute to the overall course grade, or is it separate where there's a hurdle, meaning you need to pass the exam to pass the course? No. So you ideally you will need to perform well in the midterm exam so that you can pass your course, but it's not a separate entity to pass. So I believe there's about 30% of weightage from the midterm exams. And the rest of it is from the assignments, the final exams, as well as the module quizzes. How to register for late midterm exams. So you can drop an email to the help desk mentioning that you'd like to attempt your exams in the late period, and they will inshallah guide you. Or you can also find that portal on your student dashboard, and you can go ahead and apply for attempting your exams in the late period. And yes, will there be any disadvantage? Yes, if you don't have a genuine reason, like for example, a medical emergency or something like that, then you will be you will not be exempted from the 15% deduction. So you will have 15% deducted from your midterm exams. What about the module tests? Hope the final date to complete is the last day of the exams. Yes, you can complete your module tests until the last day of your midterm exam. So for all the sisters and brothers asking about open-ended versus MCQ, like I've already mentioned, please drop an email to your course teacher and ask them because the rules may have changed. So the format of the questions may have also changed. So check with your course teacher if you have open-ended questions or just the MCQs, and inshallah, they should be able to guide you. Can you please advise a bit more on how we can schedule exams? For example, do we need to advise IOU that I want to take a certain exam on a certain date? No. So you can, for example, let's say the exam period begins from 9th of May, right? You can just go and attempt the course that you want to attempt. You don't have to tell IOU that you're going to attempt this course on this day. So you can just go ahead and inshallah attempt whichever course you're ready with first. That's completely your call. What if time gets over before submitting answers? So 90 minutes is a long time to attempt your midterm exam. It's a long enough time, inshallah. But in case, let's say you face a technical glitch because of which you're logged out of the page or you lose all your answers, then you can immediately drop an email to the help desk and inshallah they will immediately reset the exam for you. I dropped two courses. I'm in my first semester. I want to know if that affects anything. No, inshallah. If you've already dropped those two courses, then that's not an issue. You can just go about completing the rest of the courses that you're enrolled in. What if I'm unable to complete one course? What I would recommend is either you can drop it now. Let's say you're completely confident that you will not be able to complete that course. You have the choice of dropping it now, or you can try to attempt the midterm exam of that specific course in the late period as well. When are we going to get our results? Again, that will be announced, inshallah, after the midterm exams are over. So for MCQ questions, you will be graded automatically immediately. But for open-ended questions, it will be manually graded by your TA, and inshallah, they will announce the dates as well. So I think, inshallah, that should be all for today. And brothers and sisters, if you have any questions, like I've already mentioned, you can reach out to the help desk, or if you have any questions specific to your academic issues, you can drop me an email at student.counselor@iou.edu.gm, and I will be happy to answer them for you. And once again, for all the questions about the exam structure, please drop an email to your course teacher, inshallah, and they should be able to help you. So, Jazakum Allahu khairan kathira for tuning in tonight. All the very best for your midterm exams. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you to ace them. Take care. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.